am your husband, Mistress, and you should address me as a queen because he chose me over you. Then you should die as a mistress and forever be forgotten.
They said she was the perfect wife, but she poisoned her husband.
How could someone do such a thing? He left too soon.
In a village where men were known for pride and temper, Emeka stood out quietly. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and always neatly dressed. Not flashy, just clean, just composed. Children felt safe around him. Elders watched him with silent approval. Men admired his discipline. Women respected his calm. Some admired him more than they should. But Emeka never looked like a wicked man. He never behaved like one. He looked like a blessing. And like many blessings, his story did not begin in comfort. Ngozi met Emeka when they were both young, before respect, before stability, before people spoke his name with pride. Ngozi was calm even then, soft-spoken, beautiful in a quiet way that did not beg for attention. She did not shout in the market. She did not fight over small things. She did not gossip from house to house. People used to say, Ngozi's silence is her strength. When Emeka had nothing, Ngozi stayed. When his work failed, she encouraged him. When he returned home tired and frustrated, she listened instead of judging. When others mocked him, she believed in him. She believed when there was no evidence. She believed when belief was all they had. Their love did not come with gifts or grand promises. It came with patience, with shared hunger, with whispered hopes in the dark. They married with little money but plenty of hope. There was no long convoy, no loud music shaking the village, no expensive drinks flowing endlessly. Just a simple ceremony, 2 families, a few friends, and prayers spoken quietly. But their love looked strong. The village celebrated them anyway. Elders nodded and smiled, women whispered approvingly, men clapped Emeka on the back. This marriage will last, the elders said. And for a long time, it did. Lola was not just Ngozi's friend. She was her closest friend. They grew up together in the same village, walking the same dusty roads, dreaming the same small dreams. They shared clothes when money was tight. They shared secrets they never told anyone else. They shared tears when life became heavy. When one cried, the other felt it. People often said they were inseparable. Where you saw Ngozi, Lola was never far behind. And where Lola laughed, Ngozi smiled. Then Lola lost her parents. The news shook her completely. Overnight, she became quiet, lost, unsteady. While others offered words and moved on, Ngozi did more. She pulled Lola closer. "You are my sister," Ngozi told her one night, holding her hands tightly. "You are not alone." And she meant it. When Lola struggled to survive, Ngozi carried her burden as her own. She shared food, she shared space, she shared comfort. But comfort alone could not build a future. So Ngozi spoke to Emeka. "Please," she said gently, "help her find her feet." Emeka listened. He always listened to Ngozi. He agreed without hesitation. That was how Lola began to come around often. At first, it was harmless. She visited during the day. She helped in the kitchen sometimes. She laughed loudly, filling the house with energy. Her dressing was bold, different from Ngozi's quiet style. Her presence changed the air in the house. But Ngozi did not worry. Why would she? This was her friend, her sister, the girl she trusted with her life. Ngozi trusted Lola completely. And that was where the danger began. Slowly, almost invisibly, things began to shift. Ngozi noticed it first. Not all at once, not clearly, just small things. The way Lola laughed at Emeka's jokes even when they were not that funny. The way her laughter lingered too long. The way Emeka's eyes followed Lola when she walked across the room. Not openly, just briefly, just enough. The silence that fell whenever Lola entered the room, a strange, uncomfortable silence, as if something unsaid had walked in with her. Small things, too small to accuse, too small to confront, but too big to ignore. Ngozi felt it in her chest before she understood it in her mind, a tightness, a quiet discomfort. She swallowed it. I am imagining things, she told herself. She reminded herself of trust, of friendship, of loyalty. She told herself she was being foolish. But imagination has a way of becoming truth. And sometimes it is not imagination at all. It is a warning. One evening, Emeka asked Ngozi to sit down. His voice was calm, too calm. He did not shout. He did not raise his voice. He did not insult her. And somehow, that made it worse. The room felt smaller as he spoke. Ngozi, he said slowly. She looked at him, waiting. I have feelings for Lola. The words landed softly, but their weight was heavy. The world tilted. Ngozi felt her breath leave her body. Her ears rang. Her hands trembled. For a moment, she could not speak. Before she found her voice, Emeka continued. She will move in, he said. I will take care of you both. Not a question, a decision. Ngozi smiled. She did not scream. She did not cry. She did not argue. She smiled. She even nodded. Inside, something cracked. The village was shocked when the news spread. People whispered. People argued. People waited for Ngozi to react. But Ngozi surprised everyone. She welcomed Lola into her home. She prepared her room. She shared her kitchen. She shared her husband. She played the role perfectly. But inside her, something dark woke up. At night, Ngozi could not sleep. She lay awake, staring into the darkness, listening. From the other room, she heard laughter, soft laughter, intimate laughter. She imagined whispers, words meant for ears that were not hers. She imagined touches, hands that no longer reached for her. Her heart burned. Lola began to behave like a queen. She rearranged the house without asking. She spoke boldly, confidently. She moved like she owned the place. Sometimes she disrespected Ngozi openly. A sharp word here, a careless tone there. And Emeka did nothing. He said nothing. He corrected nothing. He watched and he stayed silent. Ngozi felt herself disappearing. Invisible in her own home, unseen in her own marriage. And invisible pain is the most dangerous kind. Jealousy did not attack Ngozi all at once. It waited. It sat quietly inside her, watching, learning, growing teeth. That night, Ngozi slept peacefully for the first time in a long while, because jealousy was no longer crying. It was planning. During the day, Ngozi smiled. She cooked. She cleaned. She spoke gently. Anyone watching would think she had accepted her fate. But inside her mind, something was counting. Counting looks, counting laughs, counting the moments Emeka forgot she was there. Lola grew comfortable, too comfortable. She laughed loudly in the house. She wore clothes that clung to her body. She walked freely into Emeka's space. One afternoon, Ngozi overheard them talking. She stood behind the wall, still, silent. Lola laughed. You know she doesn't notice, Lola said. She is too quiet. Emeka did not correct her. That silence pierced deeper than any insult. Ngozi pressed her hand to her chest. Her heart was racing, not with anger, with clarity. That night, Ngozi looked at herself in the mirror. She studied her face, her eyes, her mouth. She did not see weakness. She saw patience. She saw endurance. She saw a woman who had survived too much to lose everything quietly. "I will not fight," Ngozi whispered. "I will not beg." Jealousy had learned something important. Fighting makes noise. Waiting creates opportunity. From that day, Ngozi changed. Not on the outside, but inside. She listened more. She spoke less. She watched how Lola moved through the house. She learned her habits, her routines. She noticed the way Lola loved night walks, the way she enjoyed the quiet outside. Behind the village, there was an old pit, deep, dark, abandoned. Children were warned never to go near it. Elders spoke of it in low voices. They called it the pit of no return. Ngozi had walked past it many times before, but now she looked at it differently. Not as a place of fear, but as a place where sound disappears and secrets stay buried. That night, Ngozi slept peacefully for the first time in a long while, because jealousy was no longer crying, it was planning. Night fell over the house. The village was quiet. Even the wind seemed to whisper secrets. Ngozi walked alone through the garden. Her steps were soft. Her mind was clear. Her heart was steady. She knew Lola would be out late in the evening. She always was. A habit, a weakness. Tonight, she waited. Lola stepped into the garden, humming softly. A small lantern swung in her hand. She looked around, smiling. She believed she was alone. Ngozi did not speak. She did not move. She watched. Her shadow stretched long under the moonlight. Lola noticed her, finally. "Oh, Ngozi," she said lightly. "You're still outside?" Ngozi said nothing. Her eyes never left Lola. Her lips curved slightly, just a shadow of a smile. Lola stepped closer. "Why do you always watch me like that?" Her voice sounded playful, but caution crept beneath it. Ngozi finally spoke, soft, controlled. "Because I see everything." Lola laughed nervously. "I don't know what you mean." Her eyes darted around. Her charm began to slip. Ngozi moved forward, slowly. Each step was measured, each breath calm. She led Lola toward the back of the garden, toward the old pit. Deep, dark, forgotten. The pit of no return. "Follow me," Ngozi whispered, and Lola, trusting, did. The ground disappeared beneath them. Ngozi's hands guided her. The lantern light danced across Lola's face. One moment of hesitation, one step too far, and Ngozi pushed her. Silence followed. Only the sound of Ngozi's heartbeat remained. Ngozi stood at the edge of the pit. Her chest rose and fell, steady. She looked down. It was quiet, silent, final. A single tear slid down her cheek, not for Lola, but for herself, for the woman she had become. She turned and ran, careful not to be seen. By morning, the village heard nothing. But Ngozi cried loudly whenever eyes turned toward her. She led the search parties, joined the prayers, mourned openly. Everyone believed her. But beneath her calm face, the secret slept. In the darkness, in the pit, waiting. Night returned to the house. The moon shone faintly through the windows. Shadows stretched across the rooms like silent watchers. Emeka sat at the edge of the bed, his hands clasped, his eyes tired, restless. Something had changed. The house felt different. Ngozi entered carrying a small tray of tea. She smiled softly, but her heart beat faster. She had grown used to hiding what she did, but Emeka's eyes were sharper tonight. He looked at her, his voice calm, but firm. Ngozi, I don't understand something. She froze. She tried to mask it with a nod. He continued. Where is Lola? She hasn't been around like she used to. I feel something is off. Ngozi forced a small laugh. Oh, she's just busy. She's visiting family. Emeka tilted his head. Busy? At this hour? You are always here. And she never told me? Her throat tightened. She set the tray down carefully. I don't know. Maybe she needed space. Emeka rose slowly. His height, his presence, seemed to fill the room. I need the truth, Ngozi. He walked closer, eyes fixed on hers. Did something happen last night? Something you're hiding from me? Ngozi's mind raced. Her calm mask began to slip. Her hands shook slightly. She thought of the pit. She thought of Lola's body hidden in darkness. Emeka's voice softened, but it carried steel. If I find out you lied, if I discover what really happened, I will send you away. I will officially marry Lola. The village will know everything. Fear sank into Ngozi's bones. Her chest tightened. Her mind flashed between her options, her patience, her power, her secret. The room fell silent. Only the ticking of the old wall clock broke the tension. Ngozi's eyes darted to the door, to the shadows, to her own trembling hands. She realized Emeka was no longer blind. He was beginning to see. Ngozi smiled softly. It was a smile that did not reach her eyes, a smile hiding something deadly. Because when secrets are at risk, patience becomes poison. Night draped the house like a velvet curtain. The air was thick with tension. Ngozi moved quietly through the rooms, careful not to make a sound. She watched Emeka sleep. His chest rose and fell in steady rhythm. His face looked peaceful, but she could see the trust he still placed in her. Her hand hovered over a small vial hidden in her pocket. It contained the slow-acting poison she had prepared. Every drop was measured, every grain calculated. This was her plan. Patience, subtlety, control. The next morning, she served him breakfast, slightly sweetened porridge. She smiled, soft, gentle. He returned the smile, completely oblivious. Thank you, my love. I don't know what I would do without you. Ngozi's heart raced, but her face remained calm. She whispered to herself, soon, very soon, very soon. Days passed. Emeka grew gradually weaker. A cough here, a slight fever there, but the doctors found nothing. No illness, no infection, nothing. The villagers began to notice. Is he sick? Someone whispered. But Emeka's charm never faded. He still helped the elders. He still laughed softly with children. He still greeted everyone with warmth. Yet inside the house, tension thickened. Every glance carried an unspoken weight. Every smile hid danger. Every meal contained a secret. One evening, Emeka looked at her. His eyes were sharp, cautious. I trust you completely, Ngozi. You are the only one who cares for me. She smiled. Her hands trembled slightly, but no one would notice. Yes, my love. Always. By the end of the week, Emeka could barely stand. His steps were heavy, his voice weak, yet he still smiled at her, still believed in her. Ngozi watched him. Every breath he took was proof of her power. Every step he struggled to make was proof of her control. Emeka did not wake that morning. Ngozi's heart raced, but her face remained calm. She placed her hand gently on his chest.
Yes, my love, I am here.
Yes, my love, I am here. The village was called. Women wailed softly, men murmured prayers. All eyes turned to Ngozi. Some worried, some curious. She stepped forward, face pale, eyes red. The funeral procession moved slowly through the village. Ngozi led, dressed in white and black. The sun barely pierced the morning haze. Soft cries and whispered prayers filled the air. At the gravesite, Emeka's coffin was lowered. Villagers knelt in solemn prayer. Ngozi cried louder than anyone. She fainted into the arms of the elders. Gasps filled the air. This woman loved her husband. They would never suspect the truth. Her sorrow was performative. Every sob carefully measured, every shake of her body intentional. Her hands trembled, not from grief, but from power. Some villagers were suspicious. Most were convinced. Ngozi was the perfect widow. Later, when the crowd dispersed, she sat quietly. A faint, almost invisible smile curved her lips. Her eyes were wet with tears, but filled with secret satisfaction. The truth did not stay buried, not in the coffin, not in the soil. The village believed her tears. They could not see the darkness beneath the mourning. But truth is stubborn, and soon it would rise again. 1 month after mourning her husband's death, Ngozi packed her things. She sold the house she had helped him build. She sold the lands they once dreamed upon. And quietly, she left the village. She boarded a plane and she was never seen there again. Years later, some travelers claimed they saw her, married to another man, blessed with beautiful children. But nothing was ever confirmed. Some people still say, even till today, that she killed her husband and her best friend, who was secretly his mistress. But there was no evidence, no proof, no witness. Others believe she would never do such a thing.
She would never do
and
such a thing.
even if she did,
they deserved it.
The end. And now, to my watchers, do you think they deserved it?